right? Right.
We're calling the meeting now to order at 5:06. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Mims. Trustee Calhoun.
Present.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Present.
Dr. Little.
Here.
Trustee Lopez.
Present.
President Ramos.
Present.
Dr. Curry.
Here. Moving on to item 2, approval of the closed session agenda. Do we have a motion?
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by, I don't know who was the second. Trustee Lopez. Is there any discussion? Without any further discussion, can we please have the vote?
You have to do, yes, verbal.
What's your verbal vote, trustee Calhoun?
Yes, yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item 3, request to address the Board of Trustees on closed session agenda matters. Do we have any requests? 3.01.
There are no requests.
Moving on to 3.02, Compton CCD Board of Trustees future agenda items request. Trustees. No requests as of now. So we recess. We recess now to close session in accordance with the Ralph M. Brown Act, Government Code Sections 54950 and following an Education Code Section 72122 to discuss of take action on the following items.
At 5:08.
At 5:08. Convening now to open session at 6:09. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Mims. Don't forget to.
Present.
Trustee Calhoun.
Present.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Present.
Dr. Little.
Present.
Trustee Lopez.
Present.
President Ramos.
Present.
Dr. Curry.
Here. Moving on to 5.02, Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Mims, can you please lead us?
Would everyone please place your right hand over your heart and face the flag? And let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Decided to be nice.
Item 6, report of actions taken in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54857.1. No actions were taken. Moving on to item 7, approval of the open session agenda. Is there a motion? Oh, there's a correction first.
Yes. I was informed this afternoon by the faculty union with the requests, which I agreed to remove from the consent agenda, item 13.26.
There's a 13.
Is that the only correction?
That is the only correction.
Is there a motion to approve the
So
open
moved.
session agenda with including the removal of item 13.26?
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Dr. Little, seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, can we have the vote, please?
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item 9, request to address the Board of Trustees on agenda and non-agenda matters. 9.01, request to address. Do we have any?
Yes, we have one. Karen Harris to talk about the Compton Initiative.
And you will have 3 minutes, and there will be a timer for you.
Good evening, trustee. I'm Karen Harris. I live at 747 South Arambi Avenue here in the city of Compton. I'm an employee of the Compton Initiative, and I was invited tonight by trustee Dopplemore to address you and the audience, just to let you know a little bit about our organization. The Compton Initiative has been cleaning, supporting, beautifying the city of Compton for the last 18 years. We made a 40-year commitment. And so far, we've spent $1.3 million in terms of supporting the city of Compton with cleanups, painting of schools, painting of churches, painting of homes, picking up of trash, dumping, picking up, just beautifying the city. And so I came tonight to ask for your support, however you can give it, to get the students involved, to get the word out throughout the community to help us clean up Compton. I personally go through the city of Compton 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, picking up trash. We have heard people come to the council meetings and complain about how dirty the city of Compton is. And so I came tonight to let you know that there is one person going throughout the city of Compton, picking up trash, but I need your support. So if you live, work, serve in the city of Compton, we need you. We need to clean up Compton. We need to change the negative that is associated with our city. And so that's why I'm here tonight, just to address you. We need a seat at the table. We need you to get the word out. And like I said, we've been working here in the city of Compton for 18 years, but sadly, it has not been transformative. We cannot get the city residents to join in with us. We have people that come 4 times a year. We have mass cleanups. These people don't live in Compton. They also are the ones that are supporting and giving the funding so that we can keep running. So we need you to get the word out throughout the community, to the students. We need your help. We also do sign off on community related, if somebody needs to do community service, we sign off on that as well. So again, I'm Karen Harris. My phone number is 310-756-2248. And anyone who wants to contact me, I'm happy to meet you. Let's clean up Compton. Thank you.
There are no more requests.
Moving on to 9.02, Compton CCD Board of Trustees future agenda items request. Trustees, move. I hear none. Moving. Oh, trustee Dopplemore.
So, as a future agenda item, I would look at, possible having, the Compton Initiative being one of our partners for our where our students volunteer. They give volunteer hours. I was looking to see if there was a possible partnership and making the Compton Initiative one of those agencies where our students can get volunteer hours for not just community service, but also helping to give back to not just the city, but also to the campus.
I have a future agenda item. In terms of passage rates of programs that require state licensure, including cosmetology, nursing, all of those.
We'll circle back at the end of the meeting. Moving on to item 10, Board of Trustees meeting minutes, 10.01 minutes of the September 8th, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting. Is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Mims. Is there any discussion? Can we please have the vote?
The motion carries.
Moving on to item 11, reports from representatives and employee organizations. 11.01, ASG report, Brielle Johnson.
Thank you. Good afternoon. ASG has been busy. We greeted students with a resource fair and treats in August. In September, we celebrated Latin Heritage Month by hosting images of Latin culture, a taste of Latin culture, and a picture frame decorating workshop. We also collaborate with the LGBTQ+ work group on a field trip to Hamburger Mary's for LGBTQ+ coming out week. This month is exceptionally busy as we recognize World Mental Health Day, Breast Cancer Awareness, and we also are going to host our annual trunk or treat. We also have been collaborating with BMCS on Constitution Day. And that's it.
11.02, Academic Senate report, Dr. Sean Moore.
Good evening, everybody. You know, it's been a long week and it's only Monday, so I know how you are feeling. So I just want to let you all know that we had a wonderful 10-year dinner reception and it went over beautifully. Also, as you all know, we had the ROI presentation from the CEO of EGA come on September 4th to the Academic Senate. And as a result of that information, the Academic Senate was able to provide 25 recommendations to the district to consider to increase our return on investment. So we're looking forward to getting that feedback back from the district. There were some concerns raised with the data methodologies used in the report that's also in conjunction with the ACCC-JC dashboard, as well as the USD-OE scorecard. So I had an opportunity to reach out to the ASCCC at a state level and voice those concerns, and they are coming to our Academic Senate meeting this Thursday to address them. We're the first California community college to reach out to the ASCCC to have this conversation, so our college is leading it. I've also been a part of other conversations here more locally and at a state level, so I will keep you informed as those developments move forward. Also, I want to share that the conversations that I've had with the ASCCC, it has allowed them and myself to consider writing a resolution at a state level that would address future data methodologies that would be holistic and consider local student demographics in the survey. I also want to share that I was able to send my committee document to the district. We only have one vacancy, but I think I'm going to have it filled this week. So that's great news because we're all stronger when all of the committees are full. So I look forward to keeping you involved, especially with ROI. It's a big deal. I think our college has the opportunity to lead these conversations and create our own narrative and to really be at the forefront of them. So I thank you for all the support and your time. Bye-bye.
11.03 CCC FE Certificated Employees Report. Dr. David Chavez Mendez. Professor Maruri.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, board. How are you? Looking good. You're looking good. We have our first bargaining meeting or session with the district this Friday, 8 weeks into the semester, so not bad, right? We hope the board takes the opportunity to direct the district to close the contract after 3 years. In preparation for further actions on our end, we were able to survey our members, and we received over 100 unique responses. Over 90% of our members are dissatisfied with the district's offer at the table. In particular, the condition to close the contract of accepting larger class sizes, which we find will hurt our most vulnerable faculty, our part-timers, who are key in our student success. Not only that, I think last time I was here, I presented you all with some research and some research showing that increased class sizes will also inhibit student success here on campus. So again, we hope that you take this opportunity to direct the district to close the contract so we can open up the new one that is we're already behind on. On another note, I also mentioned last time we were going to be sending out emails. I hope you all got those emails. We're looking forward to hearing back from you to schedule these one-on-ones to speak with your constituents on how we can move forward together in student success. And let's see what else. Anything else? Anything else? My team won their first game this season. Finally, it's very upsetting, but they still did okay. So I'm dealing with that. And then the little boys team now that I had to leave going here, those guys are just a headache, but it's still kind of fun. Boys are different energy. I'm used to girls. It's like I'm losing more hair. But yeah, so I'm losing more, yeah. But yeah, so I hope you all have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of it, and I will see you soon. Take care.
11.04 CCC FE Classified Employees Report. Amenqua McKinsey. Moving on to item 12, presentations. Dr. Curry.
Tonight we have a couple of presentations. The first presentation that we have is on basic needs and success. We have Liddell Willis, who is the Director of Basic Needs and Success here at Compton College, provided a presentation. A copy of the presentation is included in board docs, and a copy is in front of you as well. I turn it over to Liddell.
Do I need to speak in this for the? All right. Good evening, members of the board, President Curry, and members of the cabinet. As Dr. Curry said, I'm Liddell Willis. I'm the Director of Student Basic Needs Success here on campus. Happy to be back to talk to you about how basic needs went last year and kind of what we're doing going forward for this year. So next slide. Do you need me to wait for a second? So we're going to talk about our basic needs service data, budget allocations for 25-26, some of our new partnerships we developed for housing insecurity, food insecurity, healthcare, our clothing pop-up closet, which we piloted last year, and then our priorities for 25-26. So just about our food access here on campus. Last year, we had 25,430 students visit the farmers market last year. Very successful, still is one of our most popular things on campus. If you want to know how much that cost, you multiply that by 20, and that's what we spent last year at the farmers market. So as we look going forward, we have budgeted some additional funds for this, which I'll talk about later, but that continues to be a popular event and most visited event on campus. For our food pantry, we had 799 unduplicated students visit the pantry. We had more, of course, those students came multiple times, but I wanted to provide the board with the number of students who came just unduplicated. So you get how many are coming every month, every week, things of that nature. Our mobile food pantry, this has grown tremendously since I started. This is along with our partnership with the Los Angeles County Food Bank that's open to students and the community. When I first started in 2021, we were serving 300 students, and now we're serving 450 students and families here in Compton. Last year we were at 350. They keep moving us up every year, and they will keep moving us up if we keep selling out. So I always encourage students in the community to come to that so we can keep giving out more food to our families. And we have a feeling next year with some administration, with SNAP and things, this is going to be coming very, very, very important to our community. Technology, as you know, we still give out laptops, hotspots, headsets, and calculators to students who need them at our college. Last year, we gave out 391 student laptops, hotspots, or other tech supplies. So we serviced 391 students just last year. And then our partnership with Metro continues to go, where we gave out 603 Metro Go passes were issued to students. Those passes are good from semester to semester. All right. So this is still our 23-24 data about students who accessed basic needs. We're still working on our 24-25 data, but I wanted to bring this back so you can see how we're doing. Our baseline retention rate is 67.4. And as you can see, our students that access our basic needs are doing well with technology. The ones that access technology and food access, they are above the baseline retention rate. So it's important we keep some of these services going on campus as we continue to, what's the word I'm looking for? To basically succeed successfully. We're still working with our housing and our transportation assistance. I think that's going to go up this year as we are offering additional services. So these are our budget allocations for 25-26 with the resolution that was passed for the employee retention tax credit and how we allocate it out. So we have 400,000 going to every table to continue those free meals a day on campus for students, 400,000 to the farmers market, 90,000 for computers, 80,000 for hotspots, $15,000 for the food pantry, and 15,000 miscellaneous for if we need extra tech supplies, or sometimes we do our turkey giveaway or other things that come about that students may request for basic needs services. This does not count for the money we receive for basic needs. Okay. Now I'd like to talk about our new partnerships that we're doing here in 25-26. First, I was very happy to get this for our college. We were selected as one of the colleges to receive the second round of funding for the Homeless and Housing Insecurity Pilot Program by the state. We were allocated $325,747 for this year. The purpose of funding is to provide temporary housing for students in crisis, support case management referrals to long-term student housing solutions, reduce barriers to academic success caused by unstable living conditions. So what we're doing with some of this funds, as you see our partner, we're working with CRCD. They have a housing navigator that's dedicated to our school. They're here on campus 1 day a week, but they're available virtually 4 days a week to work with our students. And also part of that funding is we're going to provide emergency housing at hotels and motels. And that's why you see that Travel Lodge right there. So we were able to have a partnership with Travel Lodge, and we're looking forward to going with that. This came about because a lot of times students come into us and they have a need right then and there. and we lose track of them. We have no way of getting a hold of them. So this helps, one, put a roof over their head for emergency housing when shelters are full, and allows our housing navigator to at least have a contact with them for a couple weeks so we can find them more stable housing. The next is expanding our food access partnerships. So I know Dr. Curry talked about this in his letters. We were able to partner with Kroger to be able to fund our food pantry for free. We are still working out logistics with delivery and that looks to be going. We had a meeting today that is going to be going very well with that going forward. And grocery outlet, for those that you know, we used to work with Eugene, who was over at the Compton grocery outlet. Unfortunately, he passed away, but we were able to continue that partnership with the new managers there. So I just wanted to bring that to attention that we still have a partnership here in Compton. Timely Care. So Timely Care is our new virtual and provider for virtual and mental health care service 24/7. We did have a partnership with something called Virtual Care Group. They were bought out. Okay, so we had to find a new vendor. Timely Care has actually been wanting to partner with us for years, and they were finally able to accommodate some of our needs, like extended appointment time, access to additional services. So now we partner with them, and you can see some of the stuff they provide are besides the mental health and 24/7 mental health and physical health care services. They also do a basic needs part now, and they also have like a health coaching. So if you think of like, think of like, what's the app that like helps with meditation, things like that. They help. They also Calm. Thank you. They also provide that as well. So we're very looking forward to working with them in 25-26. This was we were able to accomplish this over the summer. All our feminine hygiene products are free on campus. So we were able to install either new machines for this to happen or replace the machines, coin vending system. So now they're free. So all over campus, these are free to all students, and you'll see that red decal on the machines there. So students know that they can access this at any time. They can also go to the Compton Food Pantry or the Student Equity Office to grab those as well. Our clothing closet pop-up. So this was piloted. We were working with a lady named Marissa Gayton. She calls herself Grammy Downs, and she wanted to partner with us on doing a clothing closet for Compton College. Right now, we don't have the space, but we thought a pop-up would be a good way to do it. I know that our student trustee was able to help last year with this and saw firsthand its excitement by the students. So we do this at the farmer's market once a month at the farmer's market. We open up TV 27, I believe, and then we have students come through the market and they're able to go in there and get clothes for free. So every time we did this event, the average, we gave away 155 items for event, and they last 3.5 hours. And almost all the items were always taken by students. So 62% of the items she brought every week were taken. They barely had any leftovers most events. And we now started to take donations at a time from some of the staff on campus who are very excited about it. And the students that come really and do enjoy it, especially our dual enrollment students. They really like going to the clothing closet that we have. The program was $3,500 for the year. She provided all the clothes, make sure they're clean. She also puts them up and displays them very nicely. So it's been a very good thing for us, and we're hoping to continue that. For 25-26, what are we trying to do? So as we know, the money is not going to last forever for what we do with basic needs. So we have to start having conversations to clarify who's going to qualify for these services and who's most needy at the time. We don't know what that looks like. We're going to start talking with committees on campus to figure out, do we need a unit requirement? Do we need to have if you only keep it for so long? Like I said, we don't know what that looks like yet, but we want to make this equitable for everybody and make sure all students get a chance to access the basic needs services on campus. I'm always looking for ways to improve technology requests to ensure faster, more equitable distribution. We need additional housing partners to expand our student options for our new HIP funding. Travel Lodge is only so big, so if it fills up or if they don't have any vacancy, we need uh, uh, more partners. The issue we're going with now is just because Compton, Linwood, we're trying to stay with our service area, but it's so small, we don't have a lot of options, but we're looking for additional partners. Increased number of mental health workshops offered throughout the year. We partner with ASG this year. There's one coming up, and we do have funding for mental health, and we're all working with Timely Care. And we find that when we do these workshops on campus, that we do get very positive feedback from the students. So find some way to have additional mental health workshops on campus. And then another thing we want to do with our HIP funds is we want to help students with down payment assistance for if they get an apartment or wherever. We are allowed to do that with these funds. And so we're coming up with an application process to help students get with their down payment assistance. And with that, thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to take your questions.
Trustees? Trustees? Trustee Calhoun?
Yes, I have 12 questions for you.
Okay.
Did somebody say, oh, okay. But then I kept on listening to your report
Mhm.
and I took away 10 of them.
Okay.
I just thought I'd let you know, I took away 10.
I appreciate that.
Really took away 9, but so here we go. I love your report. I really do. Very in-depth, very good. Page 6, allocation amount, right?
Mhm.
Now, I just don't like miscellaneous.
Okay.
That's just me. Even though you said what you could use it for, I don't like miscellaneous. Because something might come up that what you said you might use it for ain't what you're using it for, and you're using it for something else.
Okay.
So me, I don't like miscellaneous.
Okay.
I like I don't like miscellaneous.
Okay.
That's just good enough, okay?
Okay.
And I know what you said, what you're gonna use it for, but it's still under miscellaneous. So I don't know, maybe if you do miscellaneous and you just put some categories down there. But then if you don't use it like that, somebody else will get mad, huh? Because it shows what you're using it for. I got it. But I have never liked miscellaneous when it comes to money on anything,
Okay.
no matter what. That's just me. Can't speak for everybody else. That's page 6. Page. Why did I have page 12 down? Forget it. It's not page 12. Yeah, well, slide. It had 12 right here, but yeah. I'll leave it alone. Then there was it was about the laptops. You have more students that need everything else, but not the laptops. I was looking at the amount of students, like the bus pass, right? I know a lot of people need bus pass.
Mhm.
So I'm just using a comparison, that's all.
Mhm.
You know, like how many people had the laptops compared to the people that, so you normally have more people that need that bus pass than they need the laptops or the hotspots
Cor-
and stuff like that.
Correct.
But I must say, I told you I did have 12, right? But then I cut it down because your report was so good that you explained everything very well. I just have an issue with miscellaneous. That's just me. Thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Willis. I know we had talked about this before. The being able to contribute to the lending closet
Mhm.
on campus. How can where is that posted?
So it hasn't been posted yet. What I did, because we're still doing it small, I reached out to just like the student services department first, and then I was gonna keep going to different departments as needed as needed. So, but we got so much from the student services department that we didn't need any more at the time. So I'm basically just going to reach out, go to academic side, then different departments to get anything else. So I can email you once we are doing it again, if you would like.
So can I interject on that one a little bit, Trustee Dopplemore? I think from my perspective, we have to be mindful of staff time and where we're headed. Right now, we're trying to our farmers market and also our cafeteria. I think those are going well, solid, implemented. Now we're trying to expand a little bit more regards to the housing and prepare for that. I think the clothes closet is probably the last piece of this. What is having a permanent facility once we build a basic needs center in the current DRO? Also, we have to build a permanent facility for the food pantry. And I think we have to be very mindful that we can't do it all, um, regards to everything that we want to do for basic needs and try to time it out. So I think as a follow-up to your question is to give the board more information of our schedule to implement some of these activities, because I think it's a lot right now that we're doing. And we're trying to get the food pantry set up with Kroger and that partnership. But I think we need to do a timeline regards to this is where we're at, and these are things you want to implement over the next 6 to 12 months, so the board can see what that potentially would look like and what is our priorities. Because I do think that, and we're getting into the closed space, which is great, but to be able to do it well, we have to be able to plan this out, but also seek and engage with other partners also, because the staff that we have right now within our basic needs center, I don't know if they could do as much that's being asked of them right now with the current resources that they have. And I'm becoming more concerned regards to the amount, and not just on our campus, but statewide, of how much we can actually do in the basic needs space with what we currently have as staffing.
So, thank you, Dr. Curry, for that. So just if we could be, notified of, say, of the open house, to make sure that when it is a permanent space, that we have, that it's like fully stocked. If we have, other individuals that would like to contribute items to the closet.
I totally agree. I think based off this conversation and also based off the presentation, I think as a good follow-up for the board is just to give you a timeline of implementing new initiatives. I think we want to talk about the partnership that we have with CRCD, about getting that going, and also the hotels. We also want to talk about the Kroger and our timeline for that. And then after those two, I think the clothes closet should be our priority. But those two we have to get off the ground, because the Kroger and our food pantry, students are looking for food, and Kroger has stepped up to be our partner. And now we have to be able to set that up logistically. And we also committed to providing food, or food in non-perishable food, in the different programs and departments, and set up that process. So I think it's important that we do a timeline of what we're trying to do this year, but then also give you a long-term plan timeline regards to the opening of the facility, regards to DRO and what that will look like as we go through that renovation. So I think this conversation is timely, but I just think we have to be realistic with ourselves. And this is more so for me and also for the staff, of what we can actually do over the next year to year and a half regards to basic needs, so we can be able to do that well.
Got it. Thank you. I also have one other, Mr. Willis, again, I appreciate, all the efforts and initiatives that's happening with basic needs. But for the year over year, in the update and the report, if you could, include some metrics, that would be nice. Because you have like the number of visits. So for me, I'm saying, what segment of our students, and I think that's in like your, on the other slide where you were saying, what you were looking to, some of the questions that you were looking to answer. This is on slide number 14. So with that, like the number of visits, what segment of our student population are we, that came to the closet?
Okay.
Is it, are students with dependent children? Are they single, male, that type of thing, right? Those type of metrics as well. And in terms of like the number of food, is there a way to maybe capture it like in pounds?
Do you mean as far as
With your report, like
No,
with the,
yeah, I'm asking, do you mean as far as the mobile food pantry? Do you mean as far as all of it together? Just
I think if you could maybe do with the, I know like with the pantry, a lot of times like with the food bank, when they talk about the amount of food that was dispersed, they do it in, like pounds or maybe like say food boxes or something like that. And like with the farmer's market, I know like some of the items, if it's like being weighed, maybe that's some information that we can collect from some of the vendors that are there, just to like try to figure out like every week how much food is actually being purchased. Is there a way to collect that those metrics?
Trustee Doppler, if I could interject, I think your question regards to the amount of pounds. We currently have a dashboard for student services that includes disaggregation by age, race, and gender based off the services students participate in. So they participate in every table. They participate in the food pantry. We've been able to log that information. I think your question regards to the number of pounds that's difficult to be able to answer, but we could be able to show on our dashboard based off of what services students participate and their success and retention as it relates to that. So I think we can share with you the dashboard that we currently have, but to be able to go through and be able to quantify it based off pounds, I think that'd be very difficult and also be very time consuming for staff to be able to figure that out for each of the programs and for each of the services we provide as it relates to the food pantry, the mobile, and also the farmer's market. But we're able now to quantify it based off of their participation in the farmer's market by receiving the $20. We're able to quantify it by their participation in the participation as relates to the mobile food pantry, and then also as relates to our own food pantry and then receiving services. So we're able to quantify that. But then also too, we're working on a report with the Next Generation Policy Group who talk about all of our basic needs and include narratives regards to services. And included in that, we could talk a little bit more about the type of services that are provided as also regards to the amount of stuff that's available. But to be able to quantify it based off what you're asking for, I think would be very difficult for staff because it will take people going to each of the booths every week, regards to their services and what that looks like, to be able to quantify it.
Just to, and again, Dr. Curry, thank you for sharing that information, but just to clarify what I'm asking for, in the year-over-year report, Mr. Willis, next time, when we're having the report on basic needs, the metrics and the data that Dr. Curry is speaking of, can you provide a year-over-year those metrics in the report? That's what I'm asking, Dr. Curry, and the update on the report. So next year when Mr. Willis is coming and he's saying, this is what we did, I would like to see 24, 25 over 25, 26. That's what I was asking.
But you mentioned the pounds, right? So what I'm saying is that we have a metrics that we utilize in our student services database. So I will share the database with the board so the board can see this is the data that's included in the database. Right now, as it relates to our timing of the presentation, we're updating the database based off of the chancellor's office data we just got back. And so I can share the database now of what we have, where the data came from, and then share that with the board. And then we'll make sure that next year in the presentation, but then also once the dashboard is updated, we will share that dashboard with the board that includes 24, 25 data. But the dashboard is very, from my perspective, you're able to disaggregate the data based off success and retention of our students and how well they're doing based off of age, race, and gender. I was commenting earlier regards to the extra data that you were asking about quantifying it based off of pounds and how difficult that would be. But we do have a good database that funders and other people have seen that makes sense regards to how you present the data for success and retention of our students. And I would share the database we currently have so you can be able to play with it.
Just following up on that, similarly, like we've had presentations, for example, from St. John's, and maybe the database or report will reveal all of that, where we have it itemized by the number of people impacted. And I was also wondering, as we were talking about the closet, is there a way to partner with career services so that it's not incumbent upon the basic needs alone? So when people are going to interviews or when they are going for scholarship opportunities at the four-year level, that they have professional clothing. So that's also a way I think that we can do that. And then for the housing, in terms of liability and insurance, how are we covered as an institution when we house our students? And are there any fees to them, like the incidental fees, or how is that taken care of?
So right now, we have, we establish MOUs with any partnership we're doing with housing. And so like currently the student is responsible for any incidentals that they occur or damage to the place. So the student would have to sign the agreement with us, and then they sign the agreement with the housing partner we partner with. But we'll have MOUs ready to go for any that takes care of the insurance and liability for us.
Okay, so they don't have to come out of pocket like normally when you go to a hotel, you got to put up a card and all that.
No, only if they damage. And so when we've had different conversations with people where they say they have waived the credit card requirement
Okay,
for the students.
okay.
And so in the September board packet, we had the first MOU with Travelodge, and that was reviewed by our insurance company, Statewide Association for Community Colleges. And the language is the language that they provided as relates to the insurance and the coverage for the district.
Okay. That is it. Thank you again so much for the thorough report.
Are there Trustee Calhoun?
Which travel laws did you use? What city? Don't give the address, because sometimes our students don't want people to know where they are. Don't know their circumstances. Is it like Long Beach?
It's Compton.
Linwood.
Okay,
It's Linwood.
Linwood. Okay.
okay. So you can't do one outside of our districts? I'm just asking. Is there Travel Lodge on the 91 freeway off of Avalon?
So this is one of the things that I asked Trustee Calhoun. I asked him to begin looking inside the district first, so we give businesses within the district the first opportunity, and that's where we're at. But we are going to start looking outside the district because we need more locations.
Let me finish. The one, if that's the Travel Lodge over there by the 91 freeway off of Avalon, that is in our district, because if I'm not mistaken, we go all the way over to Victoria, which includes Cal State Dominguez. I think that's a Travel Lodge over there. That is in our district. Avalon, the 91 freeway is right there. You can, if you're going, don't make what you're doing, there's a hotel right there. I think it's a Travel Lodge. I think that is in the district. I could be wrong, but we go up to Cal State Dominguez, and Cal State Dominguez is farther down, and it's over here. It's over here on the corner of, I was just finna say it, where Dee Dee's is at, and El Pascadora.
Right.
That's the issue.
It's, I think that one.
That
may have
side.
closed, but I don't know.
No, the
But
one on this
the
side.
end is here, but the district ends at this side of Avalon. And I think that's on that side of Avalon, where Dee Dee's is.
Dee Dee's, okay, this side.
It's
What's,
right
I
on
cannot,
that side.
Albertoni. I knew
It's
I was gonna
west
think of.
It's west of.
Okay, so the hotel is, I'm not talking about the one this way.
Right,
Talking about
it's
the one that's
west-
this way.
It's west of Avalon. The district stops at Avalon.
I'm
It
just,
goes up around, but we can check and see.
yeah. I just know it's one over there. To me, it's the district. Because it's over there by the mobile homes, that side of the freeway, not this side where Dee Dee's and El Pescador them is and Fat Burgers. Fat Burgers is that side, the hotel is that way. There is one down that way, but I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that's right there by the 91 freeway. You can see it when you get off.
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Thank you.
And then my other thing is, so let me ask Dr. Curry. I ain't gonna ask you. Let me ask Dr. Curry. I mean, you're doing a lot of answering, so I'm gonna ask you, my one and only employee. So when it comes to the clothing, no, really seriously, like I have a lot of contacts with clothing for babies, students, even adults, right? Cause I do stuff like that. So, as a board member, can we give some of those contacts? or
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
I don't want to do anything
no.
illegal. I don't want to
No.
step, okay,
No, there's nothing illegal about that.
just want to make sure.
No, my only thing is that I want to be realistic with staff regards to, based off the conversation today, is putting together a realistic timeline of when these things are going to be implemented. So that means when we start to reach out, like, so today we have the conversation about the clothes. I want to be able to say, this is how we could be able to expand that. This is when that's going to happen. These, and please give us your contacts so we can be able to expand it. So you can have a realistic timeline, because not everything's going to be able to happen tomorrow. And so I want to lay this out, but then also include a layout of when we renovate the D row, because the goal is to have a closet there so students could be able, like a store, right? But at the same time, we gotta create the Kroger store, which is included in our MOU. So I want to be able to lay this all out so you can see the picture, the big picture of this, and also the timing, because there's a lot that's involved. And I think based off today's discussion, we need to lay this out for the board so you know exactly when it step by step when these things are going to happen.
No, I understand. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
If I go through my contact book, and I
Yeah.
can give it to you.
Yeah,
yes,
but
only
I
give
would
stuff to
say,
You
yeah.
You have to give it to yourself.
If you have contacts regards to clothing and you want to set up, please forward them to me now. And then we'll start, and that would be a part of the timeline of when we're going to be reaching out to those individuals. I want to just lay this out over a year to a year and a half period, so we can be able to see what's going to happen.
And would you, like, when the Red Cross have a whole lot of stuff,
Yeah.
like the Red Cross do a lot of bags, they have a lot of hygiene stuff in there. Okay, so like I have a contact with the Red Cross that'll put all that stuff in a red bag and they just give them away. Is that that's something that you're interested in once you get the timeline together?
Yes,
All right,
and I think our students would appreciate it.
okay. 'Cause I just want to, I don't,
Oh, right.
I just want to go through you.
But at the end of the day, and I know we got to move to other items,
Yeah.
we're doing more than any other community college in the state and maybe nation around basic needs. But as we continue to do this work, like now you see the more expansions are happening, right? And so the clothing piece is very important to us as we move forward.
Can I just interject really quick? I believe trustee Dopplemore, you were asking when it comes in terms of the clothing closet about measuring or monitoring who's utilizing what the most, right? Did you make a question like that? Isolate what the needs are. Well, in working in there, maybe we could do that future forward, but we didn't really monitor who was getting what. All the items were just being utilized. From babies, we had items for babies from a certain age, from newborn to, toddlers. And then we had also adult clothing as well. The main thing that Marissa, my twin sister, and I were most concerned with was that it was being utilized. So we didn't monitor, we let them go in freely, we don't micromanage it. So I don't know if that's something Mr. Willis wants to start doing moving forward, but we never monitored what was actually being picked up. We just made, we were content with everybody being content with having that available.
If I may, just to, thank you, student trustee for bringing that up. Just to clarify, when I don't mean like regulate it. So I'm saying to like identify the need. So if you have like all of a sudden you bring a bunch of, we have a bunch of women business in casual attire, but your male students are walking in. And we don't have, to get a feel and idea that what we're having, we are addressing, Yes, inventory, so we are addressing everyone's needs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, not to regulate. I mean, we've had this conversation, I've asked you, many a times, I'll just put it like this. I have my box washed and folded, packed up and ready to bring to make a contribution. That's what I'm trying to say. In addition to that, another thing is the libraries that we have, for example, the libraries that we have on campus. Do we have somebody, that is making sure that those, that we have books in the library? That's the point that I was trying to make.
And I just want to clarify that the reason it is a pop-up is to address, is there a need? Is there a want for this? And so now based on this conversation, like Dr. Correa is saying now, putting together a timeline and space and going forward. So, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you for that presentation. Dr. Curry.
So next we have the Guided Pathways and Student Success Teams presentation. And we have Vice President Dr. Sherry Berger and Vice President of Student Services Nicole Jones provide the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. Good evening, Board of Trustees, members of the public, Dr. Curry. VP Jones and I are here to present on our Guided Pathways and Student Success Teams update for all of you. We'll be talking about our completion by design framework, our accomplishments from last year, our goals and action steps for this coming year, and our milestones and communication plan, which is part of our action steps. So as you know from previous presentations, we follow the completion by design framework for connection, entry, progress, completion, and transition. And the work that we do aligns with these components of the framework.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, President Curry, Compton College community. I'm going to talk first about accomplishments. So in 24-25, we accomplished quite a bit. We had our Guided Pathway Summit. I believe it was our 3rd annual. This is an opportunity for us to bring all of our constituency groups and stakeholders together to talk about what steps we need to take to continue implementing guided pathways here at Compton College. And so the focus of this particular summit was really about student engagement and retention. We looked at the Charter Success Manual, which was created in 2019, and we looked at how we needed to maybe make some improvements or some updates to our milestones and communication plan. We also discussed composition of the guided pathway success teams and what individuals should be resources versus primary members of those success teams. So we had a lot of really intense intentional dialogue at the summit, which led to the creation of the milestones and communications plan, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. In the Charter Success Manual that was established in 2019, we had a milestones and communications plan that was only about 16 weeks, but we have since expanded that. Then we had a lot of success team activities. We had the Manzanar Pilgrimage Excursion, which was an opportunity for students and staff to have this annual engagement and cultural experience, and performances and interfaith experiences. Then we had the Toxic Tour, the East Yard Communities for Environmental Justice. We've done this one in the past. This one is really about supporting environmental justice from a social justice perspective and looking at some of those communities that are mostly impacted by toxicities and additional chemicals and waste, and how that can be a learning opportunity for our students. Then we had the Disney Imagination Camp interactive workshop. This was really an engaging opportunity for students who were in art, design, storytelling, to have an opportunity to see how those can be real career pathways at a place like Disney Corporation, and how those students can have those majors and those pathways that can lead to jobs in those fields. Then we had a social science career panel. The social sciences career panel was an opportunity to engage with stakeholders in those fields to talk a little bit about what are some of those engagements, transitional points for careers in the social sciences. Then we had the hands-on screen printing workshop, which was additional hands-on support in screen printing, another way to develop those hands-on skills in a kinesthetic manner for our students to experience that as well. Then I have a couple of pictures here of our students who have been out in the field, engaging in their guided pathways in a more intentional manner. And next is goals and action steps. There you go.
So for this year, as you might remember from previous years, the Guided Pathways Committee establishes North Stars that guide our work. So the North Stars for this coming year, 2025, 2026, are the same as the ones that we had last year. In looking at our data, we found that we still had work to do in these areas to meet our goals as a college, and that they are broad-based and cover the entire campus community. So we have our fall to spring persistence rates. For our first-time students, those returning after the first year, and completion of transfer level English and math in the first year is still a big priority for us. So we looked at our data for our institution set goals, and our goals remained the same. However, we now have a new baseline metric in 2023, 2024, and aligned a new 2035 goal that aligns with our Compton 2035 strategic plan. But as you can see in the data, our successful enrollment has been increasing over time over the past 4 years, and we still have a goal of 50%. Successful enrollment has to do with our application. So of those students who apply, how many of them make it and enroll at the college, okay? For our fall to spring persistence, we've gone from 55% to 66%, and we have a goal by 2035 to reach 70%. For our first-time returning students, returning after 1 year, we've been up and down, 47%, 60, 44, 52. We now have a goal, a 2035 goal of 58%, and the work of the committee will help to address that. Our goal for transfer English and math, again, we've seen some improvements during the pandemic. We took a bit of a decline coming out of the pandemic, and we're starting back up. And so that is why this is still a priority. Our goal, we have one goal for the year, and it was to adopt holistic systemic practices to retain students. And it comes from our Compton 2035 strategic plan. It's objective 2. And the action steps that we're focusing on is to implement the milestones and communications plan. VP Jones will talk more about that plan, and to finalize the success team manual that she mentioned that we started working on at our summit last year, so that we can bring it all together this year to really have something in play to move forward.
Okay, the milestones and communication plan. This has been a really exciting endeavor for the college. As you can see, we want to really focus on providing timely reminders and really increase student engagement. Our approach is to have weekly communications to students that are aligned with our academic calendar, targeting special populations and specific populations of students for specific activities through these communications. The plan includes engagement activities such as study jams, workshops, also key dates and deadlines like, hey, file your application to graduate, those types of things. And so with regard to our milestones and communication plan, it really has become a living, breathing document for our district to help support student success. And here are some examples of what's in our communication plan. Earlier, I had mentioned that in our 2019 Harder Success Manual, we had a 16-week timeline of communications. Now we have a 52-week milestones communication plan timeline. As you can see, we have very focused populations of students that we are targeting every week through various activities and checkpoints and milestones. So, for example, Club Rush with ASG, sending out email communications to all currently enrolled students. We also have who's responsible for the communication and who's responsible for making sure the communication is followed up on and that it is completed within that timeline. And so this crosses over from student services also into academic affairs. You can see that we have a handshake digital job board at the bottom with regards to engaging with our adult education students and helping to create a clear, consistent message for them as well. I would also like to say that with regard to the overall planning, we have a lot of opportunities for them to engage with CRM Advise to receive messages under the direction of Dr. Zarazu. She sends out those messages via CRM Advise, but then we also have Dr. Kamal who helps support sending out messages via Canvas. So depending on the type of message and the targeted group, the messages could come in a variety of formats for those students so that they're timely and that they're effective. The Milestones Communication Plan, like I said, is a living, breathing document. We will continue as we are in our first year of implementation to tweak it, to add to it, to make sure that it's working effectively for students. And it's become a part of our institutional timeline as well for us to continue this work. And that's the end of our presentation. Any questions?
Trustee Calhoun?
Yes. Hi, how you doing? I'm so glad that you brought this up. And just like for Lionel, I did have a lot of questions for you. But because you practically answered them all, I only have two. And because it's probably something that I'm not understanding. Have nothing to do with y'all. It's probably something that I am not understanding. So on 2025, 2026 North Stars, that's slide 8 look like. Let me see. So I call it page 8, but you probably call it slide 8. All students fall to spring. Okay, first time students returning after first year. Do you know how many first time students are returning? Did you show me on that right there? And I didn't pay attention. Probably, huh? I didn't pay attention. Just tell
So
me.
slide 9 only gives a percentage, not a number.
Okay, don't go no further because I don't want to have another question.
Okay.
So then that means you already answered my other question. Thank you. Okay, just wanted to know. Thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask, it goes back to the communication. Is it all, you mentioned are there also text messages as well, going out to the students as well? Okay.
Yes.
And then on the Canva, is there, I'm
Canvas?
sorry, I always get it wrong, right? On Canvas, that tile, is that a tile when the students go into, like, okay, go.
Canvas is the learning management system platform that we use for our online classes, but all students in all classes have a course shell, and faculty post their stuff there, but we can also have just announcements for all students.
And what shell or tile does that,
The
what's the name of it?
The announcements are just at the top before they go into any of their classes.
Okay.
On the dashboard,
Okay,
yes.
got it. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you guys again for the report. Just a couple of quick questions. I'll start with Handshake. Is there a data point of how many people are accessing Handshake and how many partners do we have or how are we acquiring those partners?
We're just in the process of implementing Handshake, so it's brand new to the college. It was newly adopted by the LARC. So we're in the process of implementing it. So I don't know how many people are using it just yet. We moved from a different system that was very underutilized.
And it would be good future, going back to the timeline, Dr. Curry, that we talked about interconnectedness. So as we were talking about the closet, and then as we talk about career services and placement and who's going to be monitoring handshake, those would be good like triangulation strategies to say, you access handshake and here's some opportunities. It could even be a message, right? That here are links to other resources on campus if you're pursuing this interview or pursuing this job opportunity. And then finally, for the transfer level English and math, and I get, well, two things. Do we not yet have 24-25 data?
Correct. We don't have that data usually until after November.
Okay. So it would be great to get that updated, but while I understand looking historically, the highest for English was 20%, and it appears the high in the last 5 years, I'll say. And the highest for transfer level math is 14%. How do we come up with 22 and 16% as the targeted goal? It's very incremental to me.
Amari?
Come share your formula, Amari.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
So in this case, we did not actually use a formula per se, but in the core planning team, when we took a look at the institutional set goals and the 2035 goals, we compared where we had been historically with what the goal was previously, and then looked at the regional math completion rate and English completion rate for our region and for the state.
Which is?
I don't remember specifically, but I do recall that there was not a college above 28%.
Across the state?
Across the state. And so we talked very holistically in core planning about what was reasonable for us to set a goal that we were encouraged to meet, but that wasn't so large that, if we don't make huge progress, especially in those first 2 years, it isn't,
Data will do that. It'll shut things down.
pretty ambitious goal. I believe English was maybe 48%. And so we talked a lot about what went into setting that previous goal and what would be more reasonable to set as a college. And so from there, we looked at the regional and the state data and talked, and that's how we arrived at the 22 and the 16%.
Okay, well, I get potentially not wanting to set a goal 20% above the state average. However, it would be great moving forward to understand our inputs to see, a 2% is very, to me, incremental. And I get it because to me, it speaks more about a broken system if only 28% is the average across the state. And maybe, Dr. Curry, some future insight would be of those who desire to transfer, if they're only passing at this rate, where are they pivoting off to? And what is the completion rate, like the time, right? So, because you can extrapolate if only 22%, is that, does that equate with only 22% transferring? Or is it just a longer period of time?
So, Dr. Little, you're speaking about language and what's happening in regards to our institutional set goals. So if you recall that we came forward with the institutional set goals, working with our core planning team and also different constituent groups. We brought that forward in June, and right now we're working on the institutional set goals and applying that to programs and departments. And then we also created a whole new institutional set goals comprehensive database where you can be able to see that data. Also, too, we're working on updating the data through 24-25 that includes the Chancellor's Office data, which we got maybe about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, which will finalize that database. You can have all the data for 24-25 for all the programs. I think the question would be, based off where you're going, is how can you tie in the transfer level English and math to students who actually transfer, and what does that look like, and their time to completion. One of our goals that we have regards to ADT and the number of units people complete and how long they're on our campus. And we already have that as an institutional set goal. I think now you want to do some more drill down to try to see those connections. And that's something that we need to work on. But I think that's where we're headed as an institution, to begin having these conversations. Because at the end of the day, but also we disaggregated by age, race, and gender, because that's important. Because you can see how well students are doing. For example, dual enrollment students, they're taking below 67 units to complete. But some of our Black students, that's 87 to 93 units they're taking to complete. And why is it taking so long? So I think that's where we're headed in these conversations. The question is now, how do we drill down a little bit further to get to the question you asked? But then also, how do we make sure we have these conversations? So it's not just about having the data, regards to institute set goals. How do you have the conversations? But also the conversation has to inform change at our institution to ensure that students are taking transfer level English and math during their first year. And that responsibility is not just on the board and also the CEO, but also the responsibility on the programs and departments to be having those conversations.
And I would just like to add, it should be a partnership also with faculty, because it would be very important to look at curricula and teaching strategies to see about the completion. Obviously, it's student accountability, but it is not in isolation of student accountability. Thank
Correct.
you.
And if I can just add one other thing, this is for the SCIF metric, which is based on first-time students at the college and completing within the first year. So it's not the passage rates of the class. And the second thing is we've been undertaking, updating our program maps. And one of the criteria in the program maps is that English and math are actually in the first semester in the map, unless there's a reason, a programmatic reason why maybe something's in a second semester in the first year. But really making sure that the English and math, following up what Dr. Curry said, are in those maps in the first year, so that counselors, students, and the discipline faculty are aware and building those maps appropriately.
And are they connected to prerequisites for higher level classes that they may or may not be able to take if they don't pass this? Because then it becomes a slippery slope. So we can talk all night about that, but I do think it's important for us when we're looking at student success, especially as board members and as people ask. I know we're doing excellent, but at the end of the day, if our students are wanting to pursue four-year degrees or go beyond Compton College, two metrics are very important: time to completion, and if they even have the ability to transfer. So at the end of the day, that's why I ask also about about licensure, because if they're going vocational, we need to be having some clear data about success and placement at the end of the day. Thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions?
Really quick, I was logging into the guided pathways on Compton EDU, and I was just curious. Okay, so after I go through, and I had Trustee Dopplemore look as well, whereas first it starts off, I'm sorry, it starts off with regular lingo, Compton College developed 5 guided pathways, but as you scroll down, it goes into a different language. Is that supposed to be like that? And it's all the way down. I don't know if anybody's looked at that.
No, I will say that if that is happening, then we do need to take a look at it and we need to make sure that it's updated. So no, I wasn't aware. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you for that presentation.
Thank you.
Series having a conversation about guided pathways.
Moving on to item 13, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Lopez. Trustees, I'm going to go in order. If you want something discussed, if you could give me the order of which items you want discussed. Trustee Mims,
Nothing at this time.
Trustee Calhoun,
1301.
is that it?
I could say something else, but no, I'll leave it at 1301. All my questions were answered that Dr. Curry gave me, that everybody has a copy of, all the questions that I asked and the answers that were given. So it's just 1301.
Trustee Dopplemore,
Can you skip me and come back?
Dr. Little,
None.
Trustee Lopez.
None.
I have. Got it. Moving on to 13.01, Trustee Calhoun.
Um, Dr. Curry, if you can answer this, on 1301, let me go back up to it. What was the timeline when the individuals reported that they would not be able to attend the meeting? For the,
So the August 11th was the day of the meeting, and then the September 8th was the day of the meeting as well.
okay, thank you. Can, was it an emergency? Dr. Curry?
So are you asking for me to respond for each one of the days? So the first one was due to hardship, and the second one was due to illness.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments, trustees?
For 1301, you have to vote for one time?
Yes, it's all one item. We grouped it up all as the consent agenda.
But if you're asking, I think I know what you're asking. Are you asking if this one could be pulled out and be a separate vote?
That's what I'm asking.
And are you asking for it to be pulled out, be a separate vote for just this item, or for
Just this item. If not, it's fine.
That falls on the board members that second or moved it.
He wants to separate each person vote. Yeah.
So what I got from this conversation is that the consent agenda would be item 13.02 through 13.026. Sorry, 25, sorry. And then item 13.01 would be a separate vote.
No, 13.01 A and B, I believe, is what she's asking, right? She
Correct.
wants to vote on each person, whether or not she wants to support that. 13.01 is together, it's not separate.
I know, but it's together.
Asking, can it be separated, right?
I was asking, can it be separated? If it's not, it's okay. So, okay, clarification, 1301, my vote is no. But if you separate it, one is no, the other one is yes. So however the board want to do it. If you don't want to separate it, 1301 is a no for me.
You just do it verbal, right? So you separate out the consent.
The process of procedures, you still need the first and the second to be withdrawn. You're requiring 13.01 to be as an action item because you're individuating it, and then you're making each motion, each new item, it's separate one. So if it was at each month.
Okay.
Did I
you did it right, but if this is an issue and you had to pull back the first and the second, you could just leave it like it is. And just like it is, 1301, and my answer is no.
No.
No, for 1301.
If you can't separate it.
If the board does not want to separate it, my vote would be no on 1301. It's yes from 1302 down to the end.
So in order to move this route, as trustee Lopez mentioned, the first and second would have to be rescinded. Then the board would have to take a motion to separate out the consent agenda with 13.01 as a separate item. Then the board would have to take action on 13.01, and then they take action on 13.02 through 13.25.
And once again, we'll leave it up to the board. If they don't want to do it like that, that's fine.
But that'd be a motion to do that.
It's
to
not
separate.
because they're separate months.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because it's separate people.
So that's the process, and then we'll do a separate vote for 13, if that's but for the board, will be 13.01 will be separate out of the two different items, two. And in the future, we just do separate items and not have the same on one item.
So what do you need us to do? Rescind the motion? I rescind the motion. My original motion. That's it? All right. No second.
The motion has been rescinded. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items 13.02 through 13.26?
25.
13.25. Oh,
It still would be 20.
okay.
Because he's going from two, because you're starting at 13.02.
It moved to action, right?
Not yet.
Because nobody's made the motion.
So move.
He's trying to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
13.02 through 13.26, so that's how they're numbered. Okay, at the moment, you were saying 13.25, then you would leave 13.2, because he's considering 13.02 the first item.
Yeah, but 13.26 was removed.
Oh, you're right, I apologize, from the edit.
Yes, right.
You're correct. Oh, so that's even different. Set up for 13.01. You want to vote on 13.02 through 13.26 first?
2-5.
Pool 13.2. The first motion is a process of procedure would be to remove 13.01 to have it vote as a pulled item.
Correct.
That you have to pull that item. That's the first action.
Is there a motion to pull 13.01 as a separate item into two from consent?
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun and seconded by trustee Lopez. And this motion is just to pull it from the consent. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote?
Can we do a verbal vote for that?
Yes.
Student trustee Mims? Trustee Calhoun?
Yes.
Trustee Dopplemore?
Can you please restate the motion?
The motion is to pull item 13.01 from the consent agenda,
Right.
so we can vote on it separately.
Yes. my
Yes.
correct, Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Lopez, President Ramos?
Yes.
The motion carries.
To vote on 1302 for 13.
And now it's being renumbered.
Now, yeah. Well, now you're voting for the consent agenda.
Now, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is now with the changes?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Can we please have the vote?
Electronic.
This will be electronic. To 13.25. I'm sorry, can you repeat the first and second? Calhoun and Lopez. Calhoun and Lopez, okay.
Situation.
There you go.
Fine. Is it coming?
It should be there.
Yes, thank you.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
And now you do,
Two different motions. One.
now you would do the, you would do that one.
Is there a motion to approve absence of a board member? And I just,
Each one.
for August, for the month of August, to excuse the absence.
Is that how you would, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
separate vote.
Moved.
Yeah, you sure.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Lopez, seconded by trustee Ramos. Is there any discussion?
Are we doing this verbal? You want it verbal? Oh.
No, this will be,
You
this will
gotta
be
go.
electronic.
Yes, this is discussion right now.
I don't have to discuss it. I already know what my vote gonna be.
Can we have the vote? There's no further discussion.
I would like to make a
Trustee Dopplemore?
yes, so discussion, this is just like with the policy, and I'm sorry, I get an error when I click on it to see what it is. Does the policy state, like a timeline of notifying, when you're gonna be absent? I understand, emergencies, but is it state in the policy of, when to be notified or anything like that?
No, it does not.
That's what the nature of a hardship is, an emergency is. It's not pre-planned.
Yes, I understand.
So
I understand. I just,
that's what you're asking for, a timeline.
just was asking. And also, does it state like to who? Would it go to the board president? Does it go to Dr. Curry?
It
Does
says it goes to the president, CEO.
President/CEO?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. No further discussions.
That's one of the reasons I was asking for the board policy at that last board meeting, that those things need to be put in there. So that's my discussion.
Are there any other questions, discussion? Can we have the vote?
The motion carries.
Is there a motion to approve?
Excuse me, what was the vote? I know the motion carried. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a motion to approve absence of a board member for the month of September?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little, seconded by Trustee Lopez. Is there any discussion or questions?
The only discussion is that, Dr. Curry, whenever you do the new policy that I was talking about, there should be timelines, put in. I understand people can get sick at the last minute. I understand that. I understand that there could be hardships. I understand that. Okay, but there still should be, whenever you do the policy and bring it to us, whether everybody agree or disagree, there need to be, time limits and consideration.
Are there any other trustee Doppelmayr? No? Okay.
I have a comment in parallel to what trustee Calhoun is saying, if there is a CCCT policy that they have to share for all of the board members. Triple CT, thank you. If you can just share with us, I don't believe I've seen any other college provide a timeline, but I am curious if there is something out there that you can provide us information.
And we can provide that, but we're following a CCLC template already that was done by Lieber Cassie Whitmore, but we'll pull that up for the board with the current policy as well.
Reach out to President Dungy.
If I may, Board President, Trustee Ramos, just to clarify, when I was speaking, I know it was stated that, for the August and September, that those both were, hardships. When sickness and sick
I
and.
had COVID.
Sick, no, I'm just, when I'm saying, just as, I know that it was stated for the reason, illness, and the other one was hardship. Just to clarify, when I'm speaking of timeline, I meant like if it's something that's not of that, of that nature where maybe there's like a conflict, work conflict or something else that, that comes about that prevents you from attending the retreat or the meeting. I just want to clarify when I was speaking in terms of timeline, not something of the nature of these absences. Just wanted to clarify that for the record.
Yeah, comment too. Dr. Curry, as we look at the statewide, and it's going to be difficult for you to do direct definitions, but it would be good to understand the necessity for the clarification, because I think, how many months in advance did we do the retreat date?
The retreat day was included in the board schedule.
Annual. Right.
It was included in the board schedule that was approved in December of 2024.
Okay. And that was for August of 2025. So life can definitely intervene. So we do want to, as we put the timelines in, recognize the exigencies of real life.
And Trustee Little, that's why I wanted to clarify when I was speaking in terms of timelines. That's why I was just trying to distinguish between something that is like an illness or something else of extenuating circumstances. That's why I know life happens, and I'm just trying to clarify for the comments that I've made. That's all.
No, and I don't think clarity is necessary in terms of timelines, because you have every right to ask whatever you want. I think it goes to the integrity, and as grown people who are elected officials who are not here for pay, because this is about pay, $200 and something a month. Your service is priceless at this point. So it's also about adhering to procedures and being respectful of ordinances, but it's also about the commitment that individuals take. So either you question or you don't. I mean, nobody is going to walk around asking for a hardship monthly or sickness monthly, and they shouldn't have to disclose that. So it's either an agreement of professionalism or if it's not, and everybody has their own free will to vote however they want. So you have every right to ask that, and I don't think anyone misunderstood your valid inquiry. So I think we can move on from it. It's just about perceived professionalism or not.
I just want to clarify my comments and my remark versus something that, an absence of extenuating circumstances versus, say, like a last minute work conflict or scheduling conflict that would come up that would prevent a board member from attending either a regular meeting, a retreat, or something else of that nature. I just want to state for clarification, when I'm saying in terms of like timeline, an acceptable versus, say, a happenstance absence. And I'm stating that for my comments. Thank you.
So if I can interject here, I think it's important regards to, there's a vote on the floor regards to the second absence. And I think there's a motion and a second. I think the board needs to finish that vote. I also believe that the board, regards, was there a motion? There's a motion. Okay. But I also want to say that as relates to this item moving forward, we could put on the agenda the next board meeting, provide all the information that was requested, so the board could be able to have a conversation about the policy. Also looking at the CCLC template and include that. And we could be able to have all the information at the next board meeting, so the board can talk about that and provide direction to the CEO as it relates to your concerns as it relates to the policy. And I think that should be an agenda item that could be discussed. That's all I'm saying. But I know there's a first and second, but I wanted to add in that we should have it on agenda for discussion. We have all the information in front of you.
Any other comments or questions? Can we have the vote?
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item 14, action items. Is there a motion? Well, 14.01, do we have a motion for the? This is about the voting delegate for the Association of Community College Trustees. Do we have a nominee?
I make a motion to nominate Vice President Sonia Lopez to serve as our delegate at the upcoming Association of Community College Trustees Conference, and to recommend Trustee Juanita Dopplemore as the alternate.
And thank you for that. I would second that motion, please.
Trustee Lopez, do you accept? Trustee Dopplemore, do you accept?
I accept, thank you.
Can we vote on that? Okay. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote?
Just to confirm, Trustee Dopplemore, you seconded?
Yes.
Okay.
And accept.
Okay. That's a unanimous yes vote.
14.02, Administrative Services, Compton CCD Resolution Number 10-13-2025A, Budget Transfers and Augmentations for Fiscal Year 2025 through 2026.
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote, please?
That's a unanimous yes vote.
14.03 Facilities Planning and Development. Notice of completion and release of retention payments to Kaya Services LLC, football field repairs and amendment projects.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? Trustee Dopplemore?
Dr. Curry, again, this is a vote to approve like all the plans.
No, this is to close out the football field. So we had we changed the logo on the turf, which had Tartars as our mascot has changed, and we changed the Compton to college. And so that was the fixing of that. And that was a project that was done this past summer.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Can we have the vote, please?
That's a unanimous yes.
Moving on to item 15, discussion and action. Dr. Curry.
So the first item we have on action is the update on full-time equivalent students. I'd like to have Dr. Berger provide the update.
So, good evening again. Our enrollment is up. We are up in our unduplicated head count about 10% compared to this time last year and 20% compared to 2 years ago. The number of seats filled, our enrollment is up 7% compared to this time last year, as of last Thursday, and 16% as of 2 years ago. Our FTS is also up 4% on year-to-date comparison and 15% compared to 2 years ago. We are offering 64% of our schedules in person, which includes the high school classes. 3% are synchronous remote, which means they have a scheduled time. 1% are hybrid, where part is asynchronous and part is in person, and 32% are asynchronous. Our asynchronous classes are the highest demand classes, and you can see that by both their average class size as well as the fill rates. Followed by our in-person classes. Our hybrid classes are the least popular. We are, the winter schedule went live on October 7th, and registration for winter begins on October 21st. Our spring schedule will go live on October 21st, and our registration through priority appointments will start on November 4th with non-priority registration commencing on Friday, November 7th. So we are looking forward to continuing this growth for this year as we move forward to reaching our goal of 4,442 FTS for this year.
Just to add to this item for the Board of Trustees, just so you can see what we have done, we have expanded on this so much over the years from Board of Trustees questions regards to asynchronous, synchronous, in-person. You have that data, but we also added some new information for you regards to dual enrollment and our annual staffing update. One of these that we've been doing is going to be including a report from the Community College Research Center at Teachers College, is being able to show the staffing levels, and we've been able to map it out from percentage of time for all staff that's associated with dual enrollment, but then also wanted to share with the board and also the community the budget that we have for our dual enrollment specialists, which is in a restricted fund. And so we wanted to share that with you as well. And then also we want to share with you regards to enrollment management funding and what's been allocated for this year. and to continue to provide you with updates. One thing I think is very important for the board to pay attention to is our 5-year FTS projections and actuals. So we have this information for 25, 26, so you can see how it looks as we progress. But we also we have another 5-year that goes past 25, 26 and out the next 4 years. So we continue to monitor our enrollment. But one thing that's very important as you look at our enrollment as it relates to our 5-year is our fill rate. So we continue to look at our enrollment based off of our goal for the college, but then also knowing that we had a higher fill rate, how much more FTS we could generate in each of our classes. But I just want to make sure the Board of Trustees has a chance to see that. And we do that every single month, but it's included in your packet.
Is that it for item 15?
Item 15 is our trustee area report cards. Every year we come out with our report cards for the Board of Trustees. If you can open up the attachment, the institutional report card, this gives you the one just for the college in general, the data, and then also you get it for each of your trustee areas. So I advise the Board of Trustees to be able to look at that and the data that we have for your area. One of the things that we want to change as we move forward is I want to create this as a dashboard for the Board of Trustees. We could be able to do some drill downs to this, and this is one of the things that we want to update in the future. But also the employment outcome data is to start to look at the return on investment and what that will look like as we create a return on investment framework for Compton College. So currently, you have the employment outcome data is based off a survey, but what we want to do is move forward as we create a framework for the return on investment, then that data will be there. So you'll be able to see based off the academic programs that we offer what's the actual return on investment as defined by the federal government. Yeah, it's open for questions. Sorry.
Just a quick question. First of all, thank you, Dr. Curry. And just in looking at the comparisons across the different trustee areas, we do see some marked increases in certain districts, which I think when you look at it disaggregated, for example, in District 4, 75% are below 18 or 18 to 24. And in my District 5 is about 71%. We see some slightly lower percentage. I'm sorry, in 2, it was 75%. In 5 is 71%. In 4, it's like 63%. So I'm just wondering, in terms of our targeted outreach, if these are associated like with CAMS and the schools and our dual enrollment, and if we have targeted outreach to like our seniors or whatever, because some of the districts you have a higher percentage. So I'm just wondering how this informs some of our, targeted outreach. And then in looking at, for example, some of the basic needs, looking at my district in particular, you see like 38% who are focused on food insecurity. And I think most of them are pretty much in that range. So I was just wondering how we use these.
So I think we could use a couple of different ways. So first, let me attack the basic needs. These are the percentage of students from your district who accesses the basic needs services. So 38% of that total population took advantage of the food resources we have on campus. And so you can see, and you probably see this in most of them, that students take advantage of the food. I would say, as it relates to your other question, regards to percentages, we're always looking at that. But if you look at our campus and our enrollment, you can see based off of the age demographics, but also the demographics of the ethnicity, you can see the impact that's happening in dual enrollment, especially in your trustee area 5. And that's because of the early college high school and the amount of dual enrollment we're offering with Compton Unified School District. But one of the things that we're focused on in regards to outreach is not just the dual enrollment, but also now really trying to focus our work on the early outreach efforts and really looking at how do we make a very strategic to start doing our middle school and high school recruitment and engaging at a younger age. But then also too, identifying those students who are 9th and 10th graders, because we get the transcript data from our high schools, but really start to look at how do we utilize CRM Recruit with the transcript data to really start identifying 9th and 10th grade students who are not meeting the A through G requirements at their high school will be potential community college students, and really going full on a blast regards to recruitment for those students. So when they become high school seniors, they would consider Compton College. And so, yes, it is utilized. And right now we're making some changes as it relates to our recruitment efforts. But what's important for us is the 18 to 24-year-olds, that population, to get those students to enroll at Compton College. And the reason why I want to say this, I think is very important. One of these that we're working on as it relates to legislation is really look at the Cal Grant Entitlement Program. The average age of our transfer students are 27.5. That's the average age. But regards to Cal Grant Entitlement, that's 28. What does that mean? That means the student who is 28 years old will, at that number, they automatically qualify for Cal Grant services. But if you're over that age, you go into a pool where it's based off a need. And so one of the things that we're looking at working on is a bill regards to increasing the Cal Grant entitlement to 30 years of age. Because we already know the students that for our campus, the average is 27.5. And so we need to make sure that those students are qualifying for aid when they transfer to a four-year college university. So it's very important for us as a recruitment is to really focus in on the 18 to 24 to move away from the Cal Grant entitlement issue by getting those students enrolling earlier at Compton College. But then also we have the older adults is making sure that we have a program that get them in and out to meet their needs based off their academic program. So yes, this information is helpful, but it's also helpful to have a strategy as it relates to what do we do next. But then also based off of this board of trustees is making sure that we have drill down data. So then if you have other questions, you can be able to drill down and not have to call me for it.
Yes, because it's really just to inform how we connect with our communities, because I know a lot of young people still on the streets. When I talk to them in different places, it's still, a lot of them don't know about dual enrollment, but a lot of, the parents are very interested in finding that out. And I think to your point, the 18 to 24-year-olds, really connecting to how it could be a platform for their next steps and all the partnerships we have. And I'm forgetting right now the program, like the 4 and
12 and 4.
12 and 4.
So one of the things that we have done, just raised, because dual enrollment is a big thing. And so one of the things that we implemented as relates to 12 and 4 is that every student within our districts, K-12 district, gets a letter about dual enrollment, what courses are being offered. Because what we have found, we want to make sure everybody knows about the opportunity. And so that's important to us, work with our K-12 partners, is be able to do the 12 and 4. I just want to go back to a question earlier. I want to say it was Dr. Little, but I might be wrong. Regards to persistence, you asked about the persistence data based off of the presentation that was provided. The data for persistence for your district is also included in this document from fall to spring for 2024 through 2025. And you can see that in trustee area 5, the persistence was 73% versus the 69% for the district.
Yeah, it's a lot of outreach that is not captured because it's intentionally, at the community level. But I do think it's important to continue to communicate and to understand how all the resources, what I have found personally is that when I'm out and speaking to people, a lot of people were not aware of all of the different inputs and resources and wraparound services. And as they began to come to campus and engage for whatever entryway, whether it was the farmer's market or if it was, all of the different supports, people are coming and wanting to stay and wanting to graduate.
So, but these are the trustee area report cards. We'll be utilizing these this is for you as elected officials. And when you have your community meetings or you give information out, you have that. We're going to be working on our legislative report cards for our legislative meetings that be happening in the winter, because we give out report cards to our elected officials statewide, but also in Congress as well.
If I may, Board President, Trustee, may I ask?
Trustee Doppelmore?
Yes, Dr. Curry, I know you said you're looking to make our report cards a dashboard so we could drill down. I just have a question in regards to the occupational growth. Is that somehow, can you link that to some of the pathway or some of the programs that we have. And for example, I'm speaking in terms of our healthcare professional pathways that we have that's in place. Is there somehow or some way to kind of, maybe this will come out in the dashboard to kind of see like, what students are, onboarded onto those different paths and utilizing some of those different pathway programs that we have at the college?
So I'm trying to understand your question, but if you look at your dashboard, so you can see the majors that students are majoring in for our institution. And these are for your area, regards to the top 10 majors, right? And then you're trying to link it to the occupations and pathways at the bottom. I think what this does, from my perspective, this shows the occupation shows what jobs are with growth areas within the service area, and trying to make sure that we're linking that to students who are from this area within the whole counseling component, but also based off their major or where their jobs are at.
So
And
so I'm sorry, just to clarify. So the occupational section is for those numbers are for the district,
that is for the Compton service area.
the entire district?
No, for that area, for your service
But it
area,
appears like it's the same as
across,
as Trustee Little's.
it's the whole district.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misspoke. I misspoke.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's what I was asking. But is there a way that we can link, and maybe this is on the wish list, is there a way that in the dashboard that we can see, like within our areas, the students that are also participating? Are we tracking the students that are participating in those pathways? For example, the healthcare.
No, but you're basically, I would say the healthcare, you're basically tracking those students. You basically want to track the students, you want to monitor the students' academic performance based off of the pathway, based off of the trustee area.
Monitor, I'm just.
I know where you're going with this. I think you're asking a question. This is where it gets a little bit more, this is where I think you're going with it. It's based on our institutional set goals. You're going to be asking us, how do we apply the institutional set goal and show that data, not just by program and department, but also by trustee area? Because that's where you can be able to see how well your students are doing as it relates to transfer level English and math, how well the students from your district are doing as it relates to transfer. So you're starting to ask questions that connect to the institutional set goal, but also based off their major and their pathway.
Correct, because I want to, for example, we have Odyssey, right? So that's more STEM related focus. So the return on investment, and are we really making an impact in the district for those pathways and those programs that we have with some of the other?
But you're also asking, well, what does that look like for by high school, which is a different database. So we have another one that we have. So you're asking for based off of your trustee area. It might not be by high school, but you're asking for your trustee area to be able to see what pathways students are going into. And what I'm saying that would have to be connected to our institutional set goals, so you can be able to see, similar to what we're showing for academic programs and departments, and also student service department, how many of those students within those different areas are their success and retention, all the other information that we have. So that's something that we can look into. But what we want to do is continue to provide this one sheet where you can be able to have at your meetings, but create as a part of the dashboard where you can be able to drill down. And I think the solution to that is utilize our institutional set goals dashboard to add the trustee areas into that. And the reason why I say that is because we cannot have all these different goals and looking at different metrics. We need to look at the metrics that are aligned with our institutional set goals, because our program plans, our program reviews will all be aligned to that as well. And that shows institutional transformation. Because once you start doing all this other stuff outside of that, then it doesn't align with where the institution is headed.
Thank you.
And I will send a copy of that dashboard to the board, because we continue to build this out. And we're the first college in the state and in the country who's applying institutional set goals the way that we're doing that now, which is going to, I think it's going to revolutionize higher education. No. Is there anything else on that? Let me go to 15.03. Okay, so I've been started meeting with board members regards to the community meetings. I still have three more board members to talk to regards to this, and so I should be able to have a plan at the next meeting regards to community meetings, or I call it board engagement, because as I met with one trustee member, it's more so about engagement, and they gave strategies of how they want to engage the community. It was not to do community meetings, it was different engagement activities. So I think this is starting to come together. My goal is to bring forward a plan that includes the costs at the next board meeting. So during my individual meetings, I'm talking to board members about this. Is there any questions?
Moving on to item 16, grant items. 16.01, Administrative Services Grants Ratification, California Community College Board of Governors, 6870, Mathematics, Engineering, Science Achievement, MESA Grant, number G0496, Amendment number 3. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Dr. Little, seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote?
No, they're waiting for me, but it hasn't gone over. Up to a verbal, yes.
You want to do a verbal? A verbal yes? That's a unanimous yes vote.
16.02, Administrative Services Grants Ratification, National Science Foundation, Advanced Technological Education Grant Award, number FANE 2501203, Amendment number 000.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote?
Didn't come out so long for me.
So we
It didn't come out for me.
You want to
So
do a
yes.
verbal yes? Okay. That's a unanimous yes vote.
16.03, Administrative Services Grant Ratification, Yosemite Community College District Child Development Training Consortium, CDTC 2025 through 2026, Instructional Agreement Number 25-26-4159 CC.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Is there any discussion? Can we have the vote, please?
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Item 17, Board Policies and Administrative Regulations. Dr. Curry.
So these are updated board policies for first read and also military regulations. We continue to follow our process regards to 10+1 items, and also as it relates to involving our governance process to deans and directors. These items are for first read.
Item 18, information items.
In the information items, there's a couple of things I think is very important. One is there's an update on the Oliver W. Connor estate, regards to the properties and what's happening there. You also have 18.07, was an update on the Compton College Honors Program, which is something that we've been working on for the last couple of years. You also have 18.08, which is an update on our financial aid department update for the Board of Trustees. You also have 18.09, which is an update on the Foundation for Compton Community College District, and their next meeting is scheduled for October 23rd. That's their next meeting. You also have the financial information for the district. Also want to put a note, 18.16 is our 311A, which is our annual report to the state regards to our finances for 24-25 for the district. You also have item 18.17, which is our enrollment fees revenue for the district, and you have the update on the bond funds and also the expenditures. One of these that I'm working on is the closeout as relates to the 2002 Measure CC bond fund. And so we're going to try to provide more of an update to the Board of Trustees at the next meeting. And then 18.23 is the item regards to the community benefits agreement and the numbers that we received from our consultant that's working with us on that project regards to who's working on our projects. And one of these that we'll be scheduling a meeting with the building and trades and also with our consultants regards to local hires to continue to strive to have more individuals from our local community participate on the projects. Item 18.25 is a staffing update for the district.
I have a question about this.
Yes.
So on the administrators, where are you at with the Association Dean of Nursing, Foundation Manager, Vice President Administrative Services, and Director of Missions and Records? Where are you at with that? I see this says in various stages of the recruitment, screening, and interview process. Have all these had their interview process?
Okay, so Dr. Martinez, can you provide an update on those 4 areas, please?
The first Associate Dean of Nursing. Foundation Manager. Okay.
First group went October 2nd. Second group is going October 16th, and final interviews are scheduled for November 6th.
You had that many people? Wow. Right. Vice President of Administrative Services.
Want to make sure that we put the right person in, and we just haven't found that. So we are continuing to accept applications. The position is open until filled. We are evaluating the current set of applications again on October 17th. And if we get a good group, then we'll set some.
Can you back up and explain to me what you mean you can't find the right person? I'm just.
Previously. And for whatever reason, we weren't able to find a candidate that met the criteria needed for the position, including information we received in background or references from prior employers or lack thereof.
Wow. And Director of Missions and Records?
That one doesn't close until the 23rd of October. As of today, we have 7 applicants.
Okay. So on your, I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna go through the other ones. I'm gonna let that go. I'll ask those another time. It's getting late. No, I don't. I've had more to go through, but I'm not. I'm gonna look at that time, and it's almost 8:20. And I don't know what time y'all got here, but I'm quite sure y'all got here before 8 o'clock in the morning, so, or by 8. So that's all my questions for that. I'll get the answers from the other ones later on. Thank you.
And that includes the information items.
Oh, I have a question about 18. Did you go to 1830?
No, I didn't go through it, but if you have a question,
Yes, I think you gave me the answer, but it's something up here that says, hold on.
is it regarding Trilla?
Oh, I'm not going there.
Okay.
Date completed September the 8th, 2025, completed email to the board about the welding. Dr. Sherry Berger, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Where did you tell me we're at with that now?
I sent the email out. I just haven't done
I
the,
read the email.
but I'm doing the funding allocations. I'm just trying to have time to get that done this week. And that's one of the items I'm trying to finish. And then that will close the loop on that, the last part of this.
Okay, so I want to be clear. The funding you're talking about, okay, let me back up. Do we have a lab?
No, but they submitted through the annual budget process to be funded for it. It came in number 2, and I'm trying to finish the allocation this week so we can be able to notify notify everyone that was funded with the funding that we have allocated for one-time or ongoing dollars. This came in number 2 as a funding request.
Okay, so then what is that permit that that the welding is supposed to have? They lost a business or something was revoked or
Then we'll
had to be renewed?
Then we'll be able to have a welding certification program on campus.
And so with the welding certification program on our campus, which is very important, the students will be paying for that and then it goes into a fund at the college? Or what account does it go in? There going to be account when the student pays that fee for that testing? Is there a fund that is going to go in and would that fund be used for the welding period or whatever? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I haven't got that far into that part of the process, but once I get the allocation done, then I can come back to the board regards to the process, regards to how the money's collected to move that forward. And so I don't want to speak on that because I don't know that at this time.
I understand.
My goal was to make sure that we have funding available to move this forward.
Okay. And so when you check it out, whenever you get through, will you be also checking out if there's like, if it's at our college, will any other student be able from another college to take their test there too? I'm just asking.
It's my understanding that that's what will happen. Is that
Okay.
once you have a certification, then
Right.
students from other community colleges can also be able to do the certification here.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Moving on to item 19, future agenda items requests. 19.01, Compton CCD. Board of Trustees, future agenda items requests. Trustees, are there any requests?
Are we starting with me?
Oh, no, it was open. Do you have any?
Yeah, I just wanted to request a student trustee email. Is there any way that I could have a personal email not associated with my college account for student trustee?
That's a good one.
That way I can navigate speaking to the students on campus without having to actually canvass the campus. And then sometimes they don't have questions in the moment that they may want to communicate to me later. I just didn't want to inundate my actual curriculum email with my trustee email, so then I could focus on them in this space and then my curriculum in another space.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
People get elected. That's a great idea.
I was just thinking maybe it could say student trustee m@compton.edu, and then you could just change the initial with each trustee, maybe.
There may already be one. I'll have to check with Ms. Devora. Because I know there's like ASG activities, ASG.
Right.
so Let me look into that for you.
Thank you.
Are there any other requests, trustees? Dr. Curry?
No, oh, I get the other items that there next month. We will have a board update for you. Okay, so we have the update on dual enrollment. That'll be a presentation. We also have an update on the Oliver W. Connor Promise Program. We have an update on enrollment management, the legislative report cards, as I mentioned earlier, an update from campus police, update on nursing, and also our 5-year fiscal management plan.
Now moving on to item 20, oral reports. Dr. Curry?
Just want to just a couple things I want to share, and I will keep, as mentioned by Dr. Berger, enrollment is doing well. We start registration for the winter 2026 on Monday, October 21st, and we're looking forward to that. We're also moving forward with one of the things that we've been working on for a number of years, regards to translation equipment. And so now we have that available for programs and departments to be able to utilize from our Educational Partnership Department, which I think, as board members know in the past, we've had to have a translator, which we still need a translator, but we'll be able to utilize the headsets to be able to do that. Also, last week we had the LGBTQ plus National Coming Out Week with a lot of different activities, as the student body president mentioned. But I would say, in the history that I've been here, that was probably the most activities we had in 1 week for the LGBTQ plus community, and I felt that students felt welcome, supported by our campus during that week. And I also want to say special thanks to the work group that did a lot of work on that. On Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, I have a campus-wide forum. I was able to I have several forums for the campus, which are virtual, but the one on November 25th will be focused in on Compton 2035 and also return on investment and economic mobility. And the final thing I do want to say is thank you to all the faculty and also the administrative team that worked on the 10-year dinner that was held last week, which was our 9th annual 10-year dinner. And I thought it was a wonderful event to recognize the faculty who have achieved tenure. And that concludes my report.
Student trustee Mims?
I have nothing.
Trustee Calhoun?
I just want to say how great it was to have the groundbreaking this afternoon. Thank you for all the students that showed up, the faculty, staff. And I thought it was a real good groundbreaking, and glad to see some of the council people and school board members. And I just thought it was an overall great event. It started 5 minutes later, but it was okay. Dr. Curry said, I'm gonna give him 5 minutes. Dr. Curry kept his word, and we went through that, and I think we were done before 4 o'clock. I think we were, so that was great to see. Even to see the person that is doing the building and everything and all the workers. But what I really like what he said is that he said that 100 of the individuals that are working on that project are from the community. And that's community hiring. And that's what we have been looking for in a lot of the projects that are here at Compton College, to make sure that there is a community benefit and that the community is being hired to work on these buildings that are being built at our college. So thank you so much and good night.
Trustee Dopplemore?
Yes, again, I would like to, as always, my PA, financial aid, open enrollment is, it's that season again. I encourage all students to seek that funding early and frequently, not just our state and federal financial aid, but also look at scholarships. I would like to also see more scholarships maybe that are like listed somewhere on our website for students that are looking for additional funding, that information is available for them as well. This month, just for those, when we were out at the groundbreaking, I noticed our police officers in their uniform, they had their pink on for breast cancer awareness. I just wanted to just, remind everyone that this is a Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Proceed accordingly. And also with that, there was I appreciate the comments that we had from the Compton initiative, Just Doing Good. They were participating on our campus, cleaning up during one of the events that we had on campus. I would really like to see more of the students give back as well. We talked about, a lot of programs and initiatives that are being offered, but that is just a way, to like kind of give back. And it's also, taking pride in, in your campus and in your community. So it was really good to see that. And also because we're also in the season of giving as well. So Giving Tuesday is upon us. That season is upon us. And just over the months I had the opportunity to speak to some of the Compton alumni and just talk about, like the foundation and ways to connect in other areas. And that was just one of the things that I shared with them as a way during the season, but also connecting and being supportive of our foundation that we have on campus. So that is all the comments that I have and I would like to share. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
Yes, I just wanted to thank the administration, Dr. Curry, and our faculty and staff and our students for a great semester thus far and all the work that we continue to bear witness to. And I would also like to remind our broader community that Compton Senior High School's homecoming is this upcoming weekend on October the 18th. Go Tar Babes. And also, just want to continue to encourage our community to come and really learn more about all the resources that we have and to take full advantage of them. As I remind our students and our community is that their tax dollars help to support this institution, so they should take full advantage of it. Thank you.
Trustee Lopez?
Nothing to report.
And no report from me either. Moving, our next regularly scheduled board meeting is November 17th, 2025. Closed session begins at 5 p.m. and open session begins at 6 p.m. The meeting is now adjourned at 8:33.